Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reapers Podcast. I am your host, John Reaper, of course. As always, you guys are lovely. How's everyone doing on this day? Of course, we have some announcements to go around, and let us go. All right, now, as you guys been aware, it's just weird how Lucasfilm. I want to talk about Lucasfilm and about their rumor of shutting down the side stories. I'm okay. I was against it from the beginning because they saw how successful the Marvel thing, the formula is going. You know, you have the main attraction, everything together in one place, the Avengers. You have the Avenger movies, which has become this main thing now. And then like Iron Man, Hulk, all those, Captain America movies, they have become these side stories now. I didn't like that. I did not like that concept at all. Like, you knew they were linking them up together through post credits so that everything would be like linking up and building up to the first Avengers movie, which is great. It is so great. But there is a problem, a very, 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 very big problem with that. Once you get on like the Avengers making that the main thing instead of the other movies, and that's when it becomes problematic, because you see the formula. There's the formula there. You see it. You're like, great. Now we can have that formula. It's working so well. And you see Star Wars. Star Wars has so many stories behind that. You see that. And then you take that. You take the formula and you flop it on. You flop it on it. And it does horribly. I mean, and then the smashing of other stuff, which was trying to politically correct a franchise that is so popular in Bloodline fans. You try to take that series and make it something politically correct, you're going to fail miserably, because Star Wars fandom as a whole love the franchise for what it is. Men and women and whatever, out there. We all love that franchise. It doesn't matter what religion, color, whatever. We all come together and be like, we love this franchise the way it is. You come in and change it for whatever stupid reason, for political correctness or your own agenda, or putting an agenda into it, will not work and will shut the franchise down. I'm taking The Last Jedi into, I liked it. For what it is, I like it. You take the plot, okay, and somebody was not thinking, okay, he even admitted that if you take, he wrote down everything that people wanted from this movie, all the Star Wars fans, and looked at it and crippled up, threw it away, and wrote his own stuff. That right there tells me he did not I mean, he's good at what he does, but right there, he did not care for the fandom of Star Wars. Did not care one bit. And that concerns me. That really does. That concerns me with directors and writers. That they take something from years ago that was like big and still is, and they look at it. They don't see the fandom. They don't see why people loved it so much. All they see is a cash cow, and they see something that, oh, I could put my vision and stuff into this, and people are gonna love it because it's Star Wars. They're not gonna hate it because it's Star Wars. I'm gonna put, they're so afraid to do their own stuff. Okay. How about this? What's his name? Ryan Johnson. I hope maybe one day you hear this. Okay. If you want to do your own thing, that is great, boo boo. Do your own thing. Go out there and do your own thing, boo boo. Go do it. If you try to take a franchise on, like Star Wars, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Clint Eastwood trying to put your own agenda into this franchise. No, do not. You take stuff, from the others. You take stuff from the legacy comics and you put that into a pot, boo boo, and you just do it. You do it. You do something. I mean, you wrote down all the stuff that fans wanted to see, but yet you alone threw it away. Was it worth it, dude? Was it really that worth it to have everybody? You have a petition out that they want to redo it. I mean, is it that worth it? I mean, I don't know. Stuff like this and getting different directors in on it, I do not like that concept whatsoever. I know, especially with Ron Howard. I mean, Ron Howard does a lot of good stuff, but I mean, that's the problem with Disney. Disney has their hands full on everything, and they're like, they acquired Star Wars, and they're like, you know what? Let's just get other directors to do this stuff. We don't have time. Instead of getting George, which to be fairly honest, if I was Disney, I would stop playing around with this. Before they totally, I mean, they got like holes in their ship and it's sinking like lead. But to save it, you're going to need somebody that knows what they're doing. You're going to need George Lucas, okay? You're going to need that man, And look, okay, I understand this whole thing of wanting to be more women in Star Wars. I mean, because I understand that there's a lot of people feel like they have to put their agendas into different brands. I'm going to go as bold as to say, and I really, really, really don't want to do this, but it's kind of like I have to. It's an example, okay? You take a brand. Okay, I don't care what brand it is, but you take a brand and you know the lore, you know the franchise so well. I mean, other people do too, and you know for a fact what that person is. Say there's a woman and the whole franchise gave a kid, gave birth to a kid, is a woman. Is a woman. Okay? Genuine woman. Genuine. Way back then, way, like, you know, we're talking about like 60s, 70s, where there was no heard of being transgender. Cross dressing, maybe, but not transgender. And if you look at that period of the story, and to know that there was no like out of the world gadgets at that time, you could tell, like there's no way, there's none, there may have been cross dressers, but and this person's like, hey, that person's transgender. That was a man, and it's like, no, why? Why would you do that? And then of course they're transgender, so it's like they're trying to put their, their political correctness, their agenda, themselves into the game. And like, look, I understand that. I really do, because you look at all these games, movies, TV shows. I mean, not now, but back then, And if you are a transgender person or, cross-dresser person, you cannot identify yourself with any hero type character, because they're not what you are. And I can understand that. I could really, really, really understand that. It's like, okay, I get that, But find something that can be your inspiration, to be your guide on, and then be your image, or make your own, But do not tell somebody, tell other people that somebody's work is based on transgenderness, because that's when you enter into lunacy, I mean, it's good to theorize about stuff, but that is going way out, like, on the left field, where you're in McDonald's instead of being on the field. You know what I'm saying? You're staying at McDonald's in your uniform with the catcher's mitt standing there looking through the roof going, the ball's going to come any minute. When really, the game, you hit the ball goes in the right field, and a catcher catches it. And they're going, where's the catcher that was on the left field? Do you get what I'm saying? You're so far out there. You're not playing ball with anybody else. You're playing ball with yourself. And that's not cool. That's not kosher. That's like, I mean, and a lot of people, not just that example, there is a lot of people that do that. And I've come to find out different movies, different franchises, different, even though it is right there, plain sight, all of a sudden it's this, that. It's like, what? That makes no sense. No. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Well, you're stupid. It's like, no. Why am I stupid? Why am I stupid when really, clearly, it's right there. Blank, black and white, boom, boo boo. But anyway, I totally diverted for a second. But let's go back to Star Wars. But Rogue One, I kind of like it, but I only liked it towards the end, and when Vader came up. That right there brought me joy. I'm like, yes, there's the Star Wars I knew. You're making this too James Bondsy, complicated poo. Like, dude, like when when she went and seen what's his name with the fake leg and he's got the breathing problems. I can't remember his name. I wanted to fall asleep like halfway through the talking. I was like, I was ready for a nap. I just needed a blanket and a pillow, and I kind of went to sleep. Like, there was a couple times where I'm like, ooh, man, this is boring. I want to sleep. But I knew Vader was in this, so I was like, I gotta stay awake. It's good that they said it's a side story. I'm like, ooh, good. I'm glad it's a side story. You don't need to be a main story. And then there is the but the second side story that I went and seen was Han Solo. I really liked Han Solo because that's how he becomes who he is. Which it was like he was a naive boy, and then like when all that happened, that's when he grew up and was like, you know what? I gotta be hardened. I can't trust anybody. Man, that hit hard, dude. Like, I really liked it because it showed. It was like James Bond, the new series, because the new series shows why Bond is the way he is with girls, and why he doesn't keep a girl, because he gets betrayed and played, and he gets hurt. He falls for a person and he gets betrayed every time. So that's why he's like, you know what? Y'all women just need to stay over there. Let me do my work and my business and let me go. I love that. I love that about James Bond. And I think that was like the same way with Han. Han was like, he fell in love. He was naive. He was like, I love this girl. I trust people. He trusted a lot of people. And then they end up like backstabbing him several times. And he was just like, I ain't having it no more. I'm done. And birth of the legend Han Solo. So I like that. The decision to, regardless if it was a rumor or not, decision to put a hold on side stories, I think that's what's best, because y'all just messing up the series. Okay, going back to Last Jedi, the point what I was trying to make is, before The Last Jedi came out, everybody's running around was the Force is female. Okay, let me get this straight. Okay, the Force is female. How, in your minds, is the Force just female? Okay. You want to say that oh, that guy playing the lead character, that he's a guy, he's a man. It offends me. You know what offends me? Is when you're like, well, this here, the Force that we know nothing about, that's just the Force, that is it, it's female. No! How do you even know that? George Lucas came out with books, did not once mention it was female. George probably looked at it and went, he probably went back to his archives, he probably looked around, and he probably went, where did I say it was female? I did not remember. And he probably yelled out to his wife, got them all flustered, and probably went through. And after he got done, he went, wait a minute, I never said it was female. I said the Force is the Force. I even clarified it in the prequels. I said the Force is like mini chlorians. They're things with the, I never said it was female. It's something that that bugs me and concerns me. You know, it concerned me when that happened. I'm like, it's not gonna go good for the movie. And then watching it, seeing how a woman takes charge and tells the man nothing, which is like real life. I guess they made it real life. You know, and the woman takes charge and tells the man nothing about the plans. You know, the man is sitting there going, "What is going on? Why ain't she telling me this? I don't understand. I need to find out for myself. I need to do something about it. I'm gonna go crazy. She ain't telling me what we're doing, so I need to go do something." So he goes do something, thinking he's doing great. Okay, you know what? I figured it out. She must not have a plan. She don't want to tell me. She's a woman. She must not have a plan. I'm gonna do this on my own, and she is gonna thank me. And I'm gonna get the respect I deserve. But come to find out, the woman had a plan, just didn't want to tell the man. The man screwed up. Well, he didn't really screw up, I guess. He kind of like, okay, he screwed up. The dude screwed up. Because then you went into this whole casino chase adventure, love adventure that should have never happened if the woman would have just told the man what they were doing and he could have helped. No. But look what happened. Look what happened to woman. Yeah, almost half the fleet destroyed. And they followed you to that base that you indeed had to get out of, and destroyed more people, by the way, and had to get out of. Luke had to step in with his force projection and save the day. You know, by distracting the kid Kylo, who has daddy issues, for sure, and uncle issues, I guess. And then you had to escape on the Falcon. You went from a whole fleet in one movie. You went from a whole fleet all the way down to a handful of people on the Falcon. How is that possible? It's not possible by any means. No. Why? Because a woman thought she was, I'm all this, and because writers put on there, a woman needs to be in charge, and, you know, the men have been in charge long enough, the women need to be in charge. You know what? I'm fine with Rey. I'm fine with Rey. Rey is cool. I like Rey. Because, like, Rey is like us. Like, you know, like, she doesn't know about the Force. You know, like when Luke was us. Like, he didn't know about the Force and all that. He grew up in the Force, you know. Rey is like us again. It's like a rebirth again of us. You know, Rey's like messing around and you know, she's funny, having a good time, but also being serious about stuff and is passionate and trying to do these things, but yet being goofy and messing up, because that's us. You know, we mess up in society. That's why I liked Rey. You know, from The Force Awakens all the way to The Last Jedi, Rey's part has been phenomenal, and I loved it, and I liked it because it was so funny, you know, because it was awesome seeing us as people in, you know, we saw it in Luke, and then we saw it in Rey. You know, everybody in the Star Wars universe had their own part. Everybody was doing their own thing, and everyone felt like a unique character. But when it came to Luke and when it came to Rey, it really felt like it was us. You know, it's like we're the ones that are wanting to learn more. We're the ones that are passionate about fighting off, you know, the evil. And we're the ones that mess up every once in a while. You know, they do something wrong or something happens, like, oops, you know. And then we're the ones that like to have fun when fun is needed, because, you know, we're just that way. We're human. I really liked Rey, but, you know, I went on a tangent and stuff like that. When you try to put, okay, George Lucas never put any political stuff. Everyone tried. I mean, when Star Wars 3 Episode 3 came out, everyone was like, oh, he put his agenda. 3 is really talking about George Bush because of that one little line. And then George Lucas is like, no, I never put any political stuff. I mean, the political, the Senate and all that, yeah, that's political. But and nowadays, I don't put any hardly, I don't project what's going on now into my movies because it's stupid, And that's why I like George, because he don't do that. I've seen a lot of people doing it, and it's like, really, you're stop doing that. Stop it. You're ruining the series. That's why I'm afraid to see remakes or continual sequels. From old stuff, because it's like, I know they're gonna have a political agenda in this, which don't need to be in this because it's a story about this and not about political correctness. And there we go. There it is. It's there. I really, really, really don't like that. I do not. I'm sorry. I don't. Y'all just need to leave series alone. Leave it alone. Okay, if you want to put political correctness, then you're not the right person to remake it or to make a sequel. Go do your own thing if you want to do that. Set aside, right while you're doing that series, do it the way the fans and everybody in the process wants you to do it. When you want to do your political correctness stuff, do that on your own time. Write it while you're doing that. Don't destroy a franchise. Look what happened to Star Wars, okay? Look. It went from being the greatest franchise of all time next to Lord of the Rings, and in one fell swoop. Force Awakens was fine. In one fell swoop. In The Last Jedi. Because of political correctness, because of the agenda of we want the Force female, and because of the agenda of we want all characters to be replaced with female characters, and they run the show. Look what happened. People did not like that, and people have a petition to replace that movie. Think about it. Was there ever a petition to replace any of the other Star Wars movies? No. Cartoons? No. The Force Awakens? No. Return of the Jedi? Yeah. Lucasfilm, you need to rethink. Please. If you really cared, Lucasfilm, Disney, if you really cared about the franchise, Star Wars franchise, please stop putting political correctness and destroying people's childhoods. Just quit destroying the fandom. Quit trying to make something out of something that don't belong. Quit trying to force stuff in there that don't belong. Quit trying to force stuff into people's heads. People are not going to like it, and it showed. It showed. People did not like The Last Jedi, and people want to redo it. People disown it. If there was no political correctness, if there was no run around with the casino and made it a better movie. To me, it was lazy. The casino thing was lazy writing. They wrote themselves into a back corner and said, I don't know how to write myself out of this. Oh, I know. Let's send them off into the thing, and then when they come back, boom, it's, we'll come back to that. Because it was too cut to the chase point. They wanted to waste more time with the casino thing. And that's stupid. I don't understand that. It's just, I'm being bold here. I'm probably gonna get slapped or dunked for this, but I'm standing back watching this, and I'm tired of seeing stuff happen to a franchise that I love. You got people putting memes out there that, have like Kevin Smith crying watching this and that. Look, you know, far from it from me to say this, that, blah, 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 blah. Look, if you want to do a political correctness video, if you want to do your own agenda, do it on your own video, on your own time. Do not take a franchise that people love, and I had no problem with it. No problem with it whatsoever. And try to put your own agenda in it. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this because it's political correct and it needs to change. You're going to get backlash. I mean, dude, there's women out there. They try to make The Force Awakens not Force Awakens, but the Last Jedi. They try to make it all like women and all that. There's women out there, women Star Wars fans that hate The Last Jedi and hate that because they were like, no, that's not cool. That's you're messing with the franchise. You're politically up. Why can't you leave it alone? Why can't you people leave stuff alone? Make your own video if you think it's gonna be right. Oh wait, because as well as I and everyone else knows that nobody's gonna give a crap about it because it's not a big thing. People are gonna look at it and go, I don't want to go see that. That's too political correctness for me. That's too, no male and all female. No masculinity. Masculinity bad. This bad. This, that bad. This bad. You need to be like this. They're not gonna watch it. I'm sorry. They're not gonna watch it. They're gonna just shrug it off and go off the shoulder. No, I'm not watching it. I want to enjoy life. And that's what it's come to, you guys. That's what it's come to. Please, game designers, please, directors and writers, do not succumb to that. Us people want to live our lives. We want to be happy. We want to enjoy entertainment. We want to be entertained. We want to laugh. We want to have a good time. We don't want to see something being shoved down our throats because it's politically correct and because, it needs to be changed because that was the old way. This is the new way. The old way was all male cast, which really, no, there was like a lot of females in the original Star Wars. There were strong females, Carrie Fisher, and there was Natalie Portman. Strong females, even evil females in the series. But for some odd reason, you guys wanted to take all the males out and replace it with females. I am tired of it, just like the Silent Hill franchise. Just like the movies. You took a male and said, that male is too feminine. He's feminine. Let's just go ahead and replace him with a female. No, I'm sorry. Any man like that, especially me, would be feminine enough to go after and be concerned about their child and be passionate about the child and be passionate about the women that he's trying to save. That is me. Quit changing stuff. I'm tired of seeing change. Tired of it. Just like Resident Evil. It was going so good. Well, no, what killed the Resident Evil movies was the whole supernatural experience and here and there. And it's like, my mind was about to explode. I'm serious. Like, my mind was like everywhere. It's like, what are you doing to me? Why am I here and there? She's in a coma. She's not in a coma. She's in a coma. She's not in a coma. It's like, well, make up your mind. Does she have superpowers? No. Yes. No. Yes. That's what really killed the Resident Evil franchise. It was too everywhere. It was like, it's like the game series. It's like too everywhere. I'm glad they're remaking 2, and they made it a little bit better. I can't wait to get my hands on it. But anyway, the point of this whole podcast, you guys, is leave. This is what happens when you put political correctness. This is what happens when you put agenda into a series that's beloved by fans, it will not do well. I mean, people will quit watching it. People will just not care anymore. You would have people leave the franchise. You would have people not watching the new series or the new movies or play the new video games because you guys put political correctness, and it's like you ruined a good thing. Why? And you people sit back there and go, well, we did a good thing. We put it in there. We showed them. We told them. Okay, look what happened. To be honest, I think the Han Solo thing, I think that was backlash from. I mean, the movie was great, in my opinion. I loved it. I didn't see anything wrong with it, really. Except for the whole robot being female, running around saying this, saying that. And I'm like, you could tell that was political correctness and everything. But I mean, to me, that was like the only thing. I loved the movie. I would buy it. I would watch it over and over and over. It's just cool. To see Han and everything. I did not agree. Okay, this is the one thing. Okay, before I end this, I'm going on too long. Before I end this, I did not agree that the black woman had to die first thing in the movie. No. Because why? There was character. I mean, there was like character build right there between her and Woody Harrelson's character. There was a build up. There was right there. You could sense there was something between those two, and they have worked for a long time. And there was a character build up. And even the other guy, the other pilot. And then all of a sudden, in one fell swoop, the pilot dies, and then she dies, and it's like, what? Why did they have to die? Why couldn't they live on a little bit longer so you can get a sense of who they are? What happened? Why did they start doing this? That's a one pet peeve of mine about Han Solo, the Star Wars movie, is because they killed those two characters way too early. I was starting to like him, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, like one after another. It's like, why are you doing this to me? You're making me start to get involved with these, and then they're gone. So I'm probably gonna get canned for this. I'm probably gonna get hate for this. But you know what? Bring it on, the hate. And this needs to be said because I'm sick and tired of watching the Star Wars franchise go into a hole, into a pit. Lucasfilm, you need to realize, dig yourself out. Take your head out of your own buttocks. I mean, your head is so shoved far up there that you're looking through your own mouth hole. You need to unleash your head from your anus and think. Go back to the original series. Go back to the prequel trilogies and learn from them. Really learn from them. Learn from them. Call up George and be like, George, come in, man. We need you. Hopefully, I have faith. I have faith in my boy, JJ. JJ pulled out good in The Force Awakens. Even did a homage to Hideo Kojima, which was awesome. Two of them. One said Kojima, the alien said Kojima, and then C-3PO's red arm, which that was homage to Venom. I loved that aspect. I hope JJ does it again. Maybe he can bring a Death Stranding reference to Star Wars. That would be cool. That would really be cool. I think that comes out, was it next year or this year? I think it was next year. Yeah, it comes out next year. So hopefully, yeah. I cannot wait. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and I hope I don't get hardly any hate. Hope you guys agree with me on a lot of stuff. But let me know what you think below. If here's the questions I want you guys to answer in the comments down below. Do you think it's right what Lucasfilm is doing, holding off on the Star Wars story? Or do you think they should just go ahead and make the other two, supposedly Boba Fett and Obi-Wan? Do you think, what do you think about political correctness in videos, series, and a beloved video series that everyone loves? Do you think it's okay for people to do that? I mean, this is my opinion. My opinion rarely matters. This is why I don't give my opinions, but I feel like this should be a topic to talk upon, and I think it should be out there, because I think political correctness and other stuff should be in different stuff, not beloved series like this. I mean, like, in new series, yeah, do it. You know, in other, like, long term, like back in the 80s, no. That's back in the 80s. That was their time thing. You don't mess with that. Why? Because that was back in the time period. You mess with that series, you know, because, oh, we need to politically correct it because it's, you know, no, you don't need to politically correct anything. Yeah, that's why people loved it so much. It was because of that story, not because, oh, they have. I mean, look at George. Okay, for one example, George Clooney's, not Clooney's. The James Bond, the Scottish guy. I cannot remember his name, but I want to say George Clooney, but it's not George Clooney. Boy, that's. I am so sorry, people. I forgot. I don't know. But he was a misogynist. He was a womanizer, and he beat women in the James Bond films. And people loved him. People still loved him, which I don't. I think Daniel Craig is the best Bond. You know, there's Daniel Craig, and then there's Pierce Brosnan. And it's because I grew up with Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. You know, that's why. But Daniel Craig is the man in Bond. I don't care who you are. But thank you guys for listening and watching, and I will see you guys next week.